Welcome back to Alexa4Musicians. Today we are working on taking the designs from our design website and implementing them into the production Alexa4Musicians codebase. Today we're working on this register page for a webinar we're going to be hosting. Let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check out what branch I'm on. I'm on the leaderboard branch. I want to go ahead and check out a new one. So I'm going to say get checkout dev so that I go back to our base dev branch. I'm going to get pull origin dev. I don't think there are any changes, but we'll find out shortly. Okay, so now we're going to check out a new branch with my name / register now. Okay, let's go ahead and spin up the React web server with npm run start. And now let's check out if this register now URL works once the page loads. So the big goals, I think goal number 1 is going to be to set up a new route. Because right now if we go to register now, we get redirected to 404, I believe. Yeah. So first let's add in a new route. So we'll do that. Whoa, that's a lot of open tabs. So now we're inside of our code base, musicians website v3. Inside of here, I want to go to our routes first of all. And this is going to be a signed out route. You can do it without having to sign in. And we'll make it / whatever it is, register -now. And for now, what I want that to go to, I'm going to copy the subscribe view. We're going to call it webinar view. Okay. So that path does not exist right now, but we've at least set up the route. Now when I save this, we're going to get an error saying that the file doesn't exist. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add that to our views by copying the subscribe view. We'll rename it webinar. And then inside of webinar, instead of subscribe view, we want it to be called register now view. And then inside of here, we'll change the name and the export to register now view. Okay. And let's see what we see now. It's defined but never used in route.js line 14. Okay, that's because I'm still using subscribe view. We've now added the route. We've got a successful compilation. Now what happens when we go to register now? We still get redirected to 404. Maybe we just need to do a hard refresh. Register now. Before it loads, I'm going to Command Shift R. Command Shift R. Let's see if we get a loading page. We're still getting undefined. Okay. Well, I'm modifying the signed in routes. We want to add this to the signed out routes. Or maybe I'm already signed in and we need to add it to the signed in routes. We'll add it right below subscribe. refreshing. There we go. Okay, now it's redirecting us to the checkout page, and it's going to redirect us to Stripe checkout. We've done the first step. We created the route. Next step, we want to add the raw HTML. Then we want to add styling. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. We've already created the route. So I'm going to crash our server, and I'm going to make a commit at this point. Okay, let's go ahead and start our web server again. Now I'm going to scrape everything that I don't need out of here so that we have a minimum page. So all that we're going to do is have a typography called Welcome to Webinar Registration. And now we can delete a lot of this that we don't need. Okay. What do we have now? Oh, looks like we might be doing too much. Encoding overload. Consider turning down video settings or using a faster encoding preset. I'm at 30. I'm not sure what's going on right now. Are we back? Let's just open up a new Brave browser. If that's possible. Maybe I'm doing too much. I'm gonna give this another couple breaths, and if it still isn't working for me, we're gonna go. We're gonna stop the stream. Okay. Going back to our register page. This should not say register now anymore. Why is it still saying register now? We're going to close out of this before it does too much. Why did it say register now? Let's go back to our routes. Register now. I added the wrong view. What's our register now view? We're not using the view. Gonna do a hard refresh on it again. Okay, now we have welcome to webinar registration. All right, I just fixed the routing. So I fixed the routing bug, want to make another commit there. Looking good. So now we will run our server again. Now let's go back to doing what we were doing before of adding the raw HTML. So we'll go back to our code base, and now we're going to check out our register view on the HTML that our designer gave us. Okay. So I'm just going to take everything that's inside of the body and port it over. Everything inside of body. Okay. We're going to take all this for now. And instead of a page, we're going to make it a div. And inside of the div, we're going to paste everything. No, I don't need any of these scripts for now. We'll get to those later. And we're going to add all of the HTML comments. We're going to make them all React comments. We want to get rid of all these errors so that there's no red over here on the side. Okay. We're no longer importing anything from Material UI, so we can get rid of all that. Okay, so now none of the image tags are self-closing, so we'll need to check for any image, and we'll need to add self-closing tags. Okay, so what's this image we have up top? We don't have a closing tag. Okay, do we have a closing header? It looks like we do. Closing banner? We do. Closing section? Ah, we've done something wrong here. Okay, this form is not a real form. I think we can just delete it. Okay, looks like we also have some BRs, some line breaks. What are these? What's this whole message JavaScript? Ah, it's an iframe. We can see over here we are clearing out a lot of our errors, but we still have a couple more. Now, even once we get this fixed, it's not going to be pretty, but it'll be closer. Let's see what's all going on in here. We've got an ice frame and we've got a script. Okay, all of this will want to end up moving. For now, I'm just going to delete it until we get to the scripting part. Save that. And now we need to change anything with an href of pound to an href of root. Okay. Anchors must have content, and the content must be accessible by a screen reader. Can I just go content equals hello? That does not seem to, what would it be called? Aria. It's a label, I think. Does that fix it? Should I put the ARIA label inside of the A? How do I fix this? Okay, so that's all we had to do, is add a space between the I and the A. That's an easy one to fix, once we knew how to do it. Can ignore that suggestion for now, but I'm sure up here we have the same issue. Okay. I think we're looking good. Let's see how it looks. Looks like something might be going on with our style properties. We just need to change this to React. And for that, what it'll look like is a little bit of a change. I think that should have fixed it. Okay, cool. Cool. Now we've got, we do have some stuff here on the screen, but it's not looking good. So we've now added the raw HTML. Next thing we want to do is add styling, and after we add styling, we want to add JavaScript. How are we doing on time? We're at about 18 minutes, so we're about halfway through. Next up, let's look at the styling that's going on. So for styling, we've got CSS, and then we should have got Bootstrap, Carousel, Theme, Animate, Lightbox. Okay, and then we've got CSS style.css, and then a very little success stories. This is just our main style, nothing special about it. So it doesn't look like we're using anything in particular. So I'm gonna just import our main styles, just like we do in some of our other files. I'll get those from our landing page inside of the features section. We want our global styles, as well as we should be getting Bootstrap somewhere. Okay, we've got our Bootstrap style, and then we just need the overall styles. So I'm gonna copy these three. go back to our page, add them in. So, // then it should be, I think, another // should then take us into assets / global module.css. And then we'll want to do the same thing Okay, now looks like it's getting all of our styles. So header section, I believe, is going to be coming from our global module. Nope. Is it coming from Bootstrap? Nope. Is header section an actual class? Okay, we'll find out if it is by going over to the design page. To see where that class is coming from. So we will view, nope, not view page source. We want to inspect. And then when we find header section class, looks like it's coming from our main style.css. So we should have a header section inside of our global styles. Not Bootstrap. No results. Okay. And it's also not in there. Styles.header section. Okay, so here is the header section stuff. Should this just be inside of landing? I guess instead of importing styles from our global styles, let's import it from // landing / landing .module.css. So if I go in here, then we find it. Okay, so now I can go curly braces, and then this would be styles, and the element from styles is header section. Okay. Next up, header 2. Header 2. Same thing. Container should be from Bootstrap. Row 2, I believe, is from Bootstrap. Row 2 is not from Bootstrap. For now, we're going to ignore row 2. To do get row 2 styles. Navbar is probably Bootstrap, but it's both. What about navbar expand MD? Only Bootstrap probably. Okay. So for this one, we'll want to go CX. Now we'll say global styles, navbar. Global styles, navbar expand MD. And then we're also going to go styles, navbar, navbar brand is Bootstrap, only Bootstrap. What about logo? Logo is one of ours. It's not in Bootstrap. Okay. Class is navbar toggler. It's a Bootstrap element, or it's a Bootstrap class. And it's also one of ours. So we'll import both of them. First one we'll do is global styles. And after that, we're going to take it, put a comma, and we'll just change this to styles. Okay, so we're getting, now let's do the header menu. It's one of ours. Header social. Also one of ours, not one of Bootstrap's. And then we've got some fun, awesome icons. Now collapse. Where's collapse from? Is it from Bootstrap? We got it in Bootstrap. We've got navbar collapse, but I don't see a collapse. Okay, looks like it's just a Bootstrap. So we'll go CX. First one will collapses Bootstrap only. So we'll say global styles, collapse. And then after collapse, I think navbar collapse is probably both. It's definitely Bootstrap, and it's definitely ours, so it's both. So we'll start by saying global styles, close our bracket, copy it, paste it, change it from global styles to styles. Okay. We'll get through the header before we check how we're doing on time. 29, yep, we'll get through the header and then we'll wrap up. Navbar nav. Is that a global style? Looks like it's a Bootstrap style. Is it also one of ours? It's also one of ours, so we need it for both. Add it as a global style. Add it from our own. I think it's style. Oh, it's styles. Have I been messing that up the whole time? I don't think so. Nav item is Bootstrap. It's only Bootstrap. What about active? Active is Bootstrap. Active is also ours. What about navlink? Is navlink here? Nope. Only Bootstrap? It's only Bootstrap. That's great. Okay, so now we want to go global styles, navlink. Now we can copy this for all the other navlinks. And then the same with our nav items. Okay. Let's see how we're looking now. Line 16, it looks like we have an error. We forgot to close our parentheses. Now we're rendering okay. Let's see how we're looking. Release attachment to it looking good. Just ready to see what it looks like. It's not looking too hot. Maybe we didn't import some images? We didn't import some images, so let's get the logo. How are we doing it in the header section? Logo and banner, I think we'll need both. So now for our image of our logo, we can just import logo. And then for image of our banner, how are we looking now? Any difference? Okay, so now we've got the banner and we do have our icons. Okay, so we're looking better now. We just had to import our images and we're looking good. I am going to get rid of a lot of these buttons because I don't think they're needed anymore. but for now I'm going to leave it in. This is where we're going to stop today. Last thing we're going to do is we're going to commit our changes. I update styles for header section. And then I'm going to say work in progress to know that it's not done. Okay, we'll push that up. And now we'll just verify that those changes did go up to the cloud. How does it look on mobile? We've got a nice little hamburger. It doesn't expand though. But we're making progress. Kaizen, one step each day. And I see this register now branch was pushed. That's it for today. We made a lot of progress. We've still got a lot more work to do. We'll be back tomorrow. If you have any questions, please let us know. Otherwise, this is Sweets, signing off.